Getting more breaking news, Minister of State for Environment Anil Dave has attacked the Delhi government. He says it must take action rather than indulging in a blame game.
अंतोगत्वा ये सारा का सारा काम राज्य को करना है। इस बात को समझ करके अगर हम आगे बढ़ेंगे और आरोप प्रत्यारोपों से बाहर निकल करके काम करेंगे तो मुझे लगता है दिल्ली बहुत जल्दी स्वच्छ हो जाएगी।
While gasping for breath, Delhiites are descending on the streets to demand their right to breathe clean air. As poisonous air envelopes the national capital, citizens are staging a protest against the inefficient administration and apathetic politicians. The demonstrators are demanding affirmative action by the government, which has been busy in meetings after meetings so far. Meanwhile, even as the Delhiites face this emergency-like situation as far as their health goes, the pollution in the national capital goes, the centre and the state are indulging in a blame game. The Environment Minister Anil Dave now saying that the state should stop blaming the centre and start taking action on its own. But as we have already seen, the Delhi government has said that it cannot act alone in this matter because it believes the reason for the high levels of pollution at this time of the year in Delhi is because of the crop stubble burning in Punjab. In fact, experts believe that even if there is wind movement, which is believed to lift the smog, if it is from the Punjab side, then it could carry more smoke and particulate matter into the national capital region, which would certainly be of no help in a situation like this, because it is actually this particulate matter coming in from the burning of crop stubble that is just aggravating the situation. Apart from what we have seen last week in the burning of crackers during Diwali, and already the existing problems that Delhi is grappling with, like endless amounts of construction and construction material lying here and there on the roads, which just add to the particulate matter. In fact, that is what is actually hazardous to the health of the citizens. Let's also now listen into what Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal had to say about the action that the state is planning to take and the blame game which is ongoing at the moment.
इसमें केंद्र सरकार जब तक इंटरफेयर नहीं करेगी और सभी राज्यों को बुला के उस समस्या को समझ के इंटरफेयर नहीं करेगी, तो दिल्ली सरकार अपने स्तर पे इस बड़े स्तर पे जो धुआं हो गया इसको हटाने के दिल्ली सरकार के पास बहुत ज्यादा मेथड्स नहीं है, बिकॉज दिल्ली का जो ये धुआं है वो धुएं का कारण दिल्ली के अंदर नहीं है, वो धुएं का कारण दिल्ली के बाहर है.
Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu is now joining us with more details from Jantar Mantar. Kamal, even though one gets some hope from the citizens as they gather to protest against, the situation that is developing in the national capital region with regards to pollution, on the other side, the politicians are continuing to bicker among themselves. That's the question that we will put to our reporters in just a bit, because at the moment what we are trying to show you are some of the visuals that are adding or rather aggravating the situation in the national capital region. There is a blanket of smog that the Delhiites have been witnessing for the past 1 week. In fact, yesterday the situation was so grim that 1,700 schools had to be closed for children because the ill effects of the smog are something that the experts have warned people against, and most people do not want to push their children out into this toxic air. Choked and blanketed by smog, Delhi's pollution woes are only mounting. Construction dust, crop stubble burning and waste that has been put on fire are just fueling Delhi's air crisis. Add to that the vehicular traffic, the industrial air pollution, which is further aggravating the situation. A mix of Diwali crackers, high humidity, low temperatures and low wind speed in Delhi has meant that the pollution has got accumulated in the air, leading to the worst smog that the capital has seen over the last 17 years. Meanwhile, even as Delhi is experiencing the most dangerous levels of air pollution in years, one of the reasons for the deteriorating air quality is the burning of crop stubble by thousands of farmers in North India. The rise in particulate matter has been attributed to the fireworks on Diwali night as well. But NASA images suggest that the burning of crop stubble is considerably impacting pollution levels. Farmers in neighbouring Punjab and Haryana have been setting fire to paddy stubble in their fields after cultivating the crop as part of the slash and burn. As the pollution levels peak, Punjab Chief Minister Prakash Singh Badal has said that the government has been trying to educate the farmers and providing them with machines, but it doesn't seem to be helping the cause. Manjeet Sehgal is now joining us with the very latest. Manjeet, you know, the government is making claims that they are providing these machines, but the farmers have a different story to tell. They believe that because the machines are expensive, they do not want to use it, and it is much cheaper for them to burn the crop stubble.
Yes, indeed, Maha. It is very costly to handle the paddy stubble. All we know is that the paddy, to destroy the paddy stubble, one is required to buy a shredder, which costs between 2 lakhs to 4 lakh rupees. And if someone is buying a shredder, he will have to invest between 2,500 to 4,000 rupees per acre, besides the crop harvesting cost. So this is beyond the reach of a common farmer. The state government, be it the Haryana government, be it the Punjab government, they are talking about the norms, but the norms are flouted in the air, flouted openly, as on ground. The state government authorities are not booking the farmers. They are not chalaning the farmers who are setting their fields ablaze. Secondly, in Punjab, elections are around the corner. The Punjab government and the Pollution Control Board is not in a mood to annoy the farmers, as if they start challenging the farmers, they may go against the government. So these are the things which have compelled the farmers to burn the paddy, as they are poor in resources. The state government has not offered them any subsidy or has not offered them any incentive to buy the shredders.
Right. So the state government is making claims that they have offered machines to the farmers. However, farmers have a different version, saying that there has been no subsidy that has been provided, and buying a shredder and using it will cost them immensely, and therefore they are indulging in crop stubble burning, which is of course a much cheaper way of getting rid of the crop stubble for the next sowing season. Well, Delhi could be the most polluted city, but other metros aren't getting better. Since 2011, at least 94 Indian cities have not met the national air quality standards. According to the Central Pollution Control Board officials, many of these cities have been on the list from 1990. Continuous air quality monitoring began in Mumbai only a year back. The local government recognized smoke from bakeries and burning garbage as a major source of pollution in Mumbai. Vehicular emissions and construction activity, including 8 years of work on Chennai Metro Rail, has drastically affected the Chennai air, while Bengaluru has been experiencing a 5% decline in air quality every year. The state government has failed to set out any action plan to tackle the pollution. Automatic pollution recording stations have been set up in Kolkata, but monitoring norms remain lax. Pollution from construction dust remains a threat since Kolkata is expanding fast and construction activities are on the rise. Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu is now joining us with the very latest. Kamal, you know, I wanted to get a word from you on the fact that even though Delhi seems to be one of the most polluted cities, not just in India but across the world, we are seeing that the citizens are making a move and saying that they are willing to cooperate with the government. But do they feel let down by the fact that the state and the centre are themselves bickering over who can set right the situation?
Well, Maha, absolutely. There seems to be a major blame game on, whether it's between the Delhi state as well as the centre or for that matter, states pointing out to each other. But the fact is, it's citizens like us, the children, the elderly, pregnant women, who are the most impacted. They obviously feel that this blame game, and obviously the entire blame doesn't lie with the center or with the state. Is also the responsibility of the citizens in a certain manner. So yes, it's a collective responsibility. While there are efforts like the one that we see in Jantar Mantar, now if I can try and show you what's been happening here in Jantar Mantar is number of people who've come outside. They're the ones, young kids, raising slogans, showing slogans. So yes, there is an emotion. It's obviously like smoking 40 cigarettes a day. So that's the sort of impact that you're having on your lungs. It's obviously extremely severe weather conditions, the smog, the pollution, all adding up to a major disaster. And that is why we've also seen the paramilitary forces. We've talked to CISF. They said they're going to get 5,000 pollution masks for their people who've been deployed at the airport, at the metro, quick reaction team. We do expect certain paramilitary forces to follow suit. But the fact is, people whosoever is outside breathing this particular air, it's no longer healthy. So yes, it's obviously an emergency-like situation in Delhi, where it's obviously counted worse than what is being in China or being in Beijing.
You know, Kamal, it is a very alarming situation, and the fact that there is no concrete plan to combat it is making things even worse. Now, what are we likely to see in the coming week as far as the state and the centre, which at the moment are indulging in a blame game, but are we likely to see any concrete measures being taken?
Well, Maha, what we know is the LG has called in for an emergency meeting tomorrow. We know that there's been a talk about a law being implemented to check pollution. There was also an effort of OD, even remember, a couple of months ago, but that's been discontinued. So yes, it's a time where there has to be a certain response. We know a lot of people are concerned. The centre as well as state have been talking about it. But is it going to be limited to rhetoric? That's a big question when many people are asking now. Is it time that citizens also step in, whether it's about planting greenery, whether it's about taking steps and measures? Everything needs to be done, not just at the law level or at the level of the government. It's also the onus and responsibility of the citizens. And that is why we know that people who are obviously bursting crackers, this was that there were crops being burnt in Punjab. The level of pollution is now affecting just about everyone who's in Delhi. Now, this is a major health hazard, especially if you're asthmatic, you have a bronchial problem.
Yes.
If you have any of the other problems, it impacts the heart, it impacts your overall well-being. So that is now a major concern, and that is why many people are saying that law should step in, people should step in, and perhaps a better stringent law is something what Delhi really needs.
Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu, thanks for joining us with all those details from Jantar Mantar.